every time I go to SHOT Show, it is like adult Disneyland.
It's like the Super Bowl of firearms, right?
Yeah.
It's where all the big stuff's going to come out. It's where all the news is going to be. Could there be any more 2011?
Oh, there always could be 20. There always could be
20 more 2011s.
Yeah, there could be 20 more 2011s. Hey everyone, it's Corey with Blackstone. Welcome to another episode of the Reserve Podcast. Today, we're looking ahead to SHOT Show, the biggest week of the year in the firearms industry, taking place in Las Vegas with new products, new tech, and major brand announcements. We're breaking down what we're excited for heading into this year's show, and joining me to discuss all of that is Matt.
Hey, how's it going? Corey, what do you got? What are you excited about this year?
Oh, there's a lot I'm excited about.
Let me guess, it starts with suppressors.
Suppressors is definitely a very big one on the list. Usually, I would say there's always something that catches my eye that I wasn't really expecting. Every once in a while, companies will kind of keep under wraps what they're going to be releasing at SHOT Show.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of times they sort of do preview some of it. Mm-hmm. But my big three would probably be 2011/ double stack 1911s, just because that's my just absolute favorite thing. I can never get enough of those. Ammo, specifically like handgun ammunition, which I guess we'll talk about, and then suppressors. So I'm a huge fan of CAT silencers.
Yeah.
Like I said, just
their marketing's hilarious.
Yeah, their marketing's awesome. The products they're coming out with are pretty fantastic. Just the actual performance of them, especially in the form factors. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of companies doing this now, where at least with silencers, you're getting like sort of what people call K or shorter size silencers are starting to perform with the same sort of, sound reduction and flash reduction as a lot of, older like full size cans. So that's definitely a big one for me out. They've got a couple new things coming out, as well as a few other companies I know that are kind of in that sort of same space making 3D printed silencers.
So you think it's all going to be like 3D printing type stuff?
Oh, 100%. Okay. I think, I don't know if everything will be 3D printed, but even a lot of companies who are kind of just jumping, bigger companies who are just jumping into the silencer space, I think everything is having to almost go to additive manufacturing, just because the ability to make things you could never make with, traditional manufacturing and machining, and the performance is just not particularly comparable. I mean, you'll see some cans that are 3D printed that are just 3D printing their old design to say that they 3D printed something. But generally speaking, I think if you want to compete at all or have people kind of really look at your product seriously, it has to be 3D printed at this point. Yeah. And like I said, there's going to be quite a few companies coming out with things that they've sort of teased, but haven't really told us what they are yet.
Sure.
So
CAT's one.
CAT's one, 4 Systems is another really big one. And then you've got like Diligent, Exigent. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a big, just a big realm of just interest for me.
Cool.
And then I think 2011s, I'm just interested.
Could there be any more 2011s?
Oh, there always could be 20. There always could
20
be
more 2011s.
Yeah, there could be 20 more 2011s. I would like that. There's never going to be enough of those for me, just because you sort of see, even with like the Jacob Gray Knox 9, that's a relatively that's kind of a new offering, and not really something I think people expected them to come out with when they sort of teased it. So I think there's always different takes on the 2011 and 1911 double stack.
Do you think there's going to be like a theme? I feel like last year it was a lot of just everyone made a 2011.
Yeah.
Now that I feel like some companies are really going into the race gun, some are like really doubling down on the duty aspect of it. Do you think it's going to stay kind of, people will stay in their own lanes, or do you think we're going to see some shakeups of maybe a duty-focused 2011 company is going to come out with a race one, or vice versa? Or do you think there's going to be something with like modularity? Obviously, everything's going to be ported, probably.
If I had to guess, I would think that more companies would lean into the defense side. Only because, like especially when Staccato, started kind of really taking off and revitalizing the 1911 double stack market. Yep. It was a massive shift for them from competition defense guns. And
Yeah, they've been releasing a lot of like really cool marketing stuff,
Yeah.
going back to their heritage, and it's like basically it shows like an STI gun,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of goes to the HD series, and then it's like a big question mark redacted thing. So yeah, I think that's really cool, and I agree.
And I mean, and they deserve credit just because they almost single-handedly introduced that market and kind of gave a shock to the system, because everyone knew 2011s and double stack 1911s as pretty much competition only firearms, unless you were in like an ultra high, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 price range for some like super, super rare custom maker.
Yep.
And they brought in this, you can carry these for, defense, you can carry, everyday carry them. People didn't think that was really like a viable option. And almost every model they've made, in my opinion, is something that you could carry pretty confidently.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'd want to carry the 5.4 inch 2011.
No, yeah,
but
that'd just be uncomfortable.
Let's say, like, me
You
personally,
need like a really serious belt.
yeah, like me personally, I tend to carry full size 2011, so like 5 inch.
Because you're super manly.
Even with I wish, even with the like a comp, like an XC type of thing, but the 5.4 inch would be that's a little long.
It's a little,
But that just whole market, I think, to the point of bringing in Staccato, it seems to have worked out a lot better for them from a business perspective, because the market as a whole is more, I think, into defense and self-defense and duty than the sort of crazy race guns. I think there's 100% some market there.
but it's kind of niche.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty small in terms of the people actually spending money on that, because anytime you do any type of customizing, especially when it's just for the sake of flashiness, and obviously there's some functionality improvement, but you tend to be doing it for the look at my gun, it's different.
Yeah.
Which is I'm totally a part of. So like I'm totally into that.
Yep.
You're paying more for it.
Yep.
And I think people who aren't super deep into the 2011, 1911 double stack market just don't see the benefit, I guess, of spending another $2,000-$3,000 on top of, sometimes, at the lower end, you're looking at, over, 2+ K. So I think that the defense side of things will be much bigger.
What do you think about competitors to Staccato? So we had OA Defense out the other day. They make the 2311, which is very similar in some aspects, but what's kind of neat is it takes P320 mags. So that I thought was pretty cool. It shot great, super, super reliable. So that's just another one that isn't as popular, but is another option. Do you think there's going to be some more people coming up, or maybe they're going to be changing gears?
I would be interested to see. I would not be surprised if a couple companies we already know that are sort of established there, maybe, I wouldn't say change gears, but offer something else. But I mean, the really good thing, at least for me, being kind of just so interested in it, is there is such a market for it. And so many companies, I think, are jumping into that realm, realizing that it's a viable business model. So
you think SIG's going to do anything there?
Well, yeah,
GTO's been pretty successful. I think.
They just released, I guess, their version of like a 2011, and it sort of is, I guess I would say a competitor to OA.
Yeah.
But I think with the,
from like a defense perspective, obviously they need something to replace the 320.
Yeah, and I think probably companies like OA who are doing 320 patterned style guns like that are probably going to take off a lot, just because whether it's good or bad, just a lot of people's opinion of the 320.
A lot of 320 mags hanging around.
Yeah,
going to get used.
A lot of people who might not, want to carry that anymore, or might just not be ultra comfortable shooting those as much anymore.
Yep.
For the meantime, I think they'll, like you said, they've got a lot of mags, and mags are expensive.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap endeavor to buy even 320 mags. I think the only like semi inexpensive mags now are, things like Glock or something like that, where the whole thing's polymer.
Yeah.
But a lot of these steel mags are, you're paying a couple $100 to, upwards of $1,000 sometimes.
Seriously.
For just getting a few mags.
Yeah.
So I think that will be a big thing that we'll see just more companies coming out with alternate patterned like magazine style.
Yeah.
Whether it's
More
the
capability
320 or whether it's the
compatibility,
whether it's the 320,
I
whether
think
it's
so
the
too.
Glock mag. I think we'll see more of that. But I'm just excited to see what companies come out with or what they release.
What do you think about like modularity in the double stack 1911 space, right? So every polymer frame pistol, it feels like, has a fire control unit now.
Yep.
Taurus just came out with one. Like with the construction of a 1911 platform, is that even possible? Do you think they're going to try and do something there where you have, one serial number for multiple size firearms, stuff like that?
For me, realistically, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just because the design of the gun is fairly complex.
Yeah.
And to me, I think probably where I got so interested in them is they're not this, you can't oil them, like you can just run them for trillions of rounds type of thing where and you forget about it. Like there's a little bit of maintenance involved.
Yep.
But the intricacies and sort of the old school, like hand finished, handmade component to like almost the whole gun is, I think, what appealed to me.
Sure. Kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not possible.
Yeah.
But I think
Improbable.
it's probably not something many companies would want to endeavor into and spend the money trying to figure out.
Yeah.
But we could be wrong. You never know. I mean, I think with a lot of these, new grips and things like that coming out, and a lot of the new, like the MJD grip and the polymer and all the craziness
that's true. It is
that's
already
come out of
pretty
his brain.
modular already, right? Like Vulcan makes replacement grips for Staccato, so it's not the fire control unit, but it isn't not another serialized part.
Yeah,
so in some ways, it's already there.
There's some modularity, but
yeah, that's a good point.
I could see like somebody like MJD, like in his mad scientist brain, maybe coming up with something that would allow that. Because I mean, you never know. People surprise me every day with what they think of, and it's just like anything else. I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, no, that'd be nice. Yeah.
My other big one would be ammo.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't know why, but I'm just obsessed with like ammo technology. It doesn't mean I understand it, but handgun ammunition specifically has always interested me just because it's really cool to, and fascinating to see a lot of the ammo that's used for self-defense, expand in ballistics gel and see how different companies.
Oh, you're one of those guys?
I'm one of those guys. Big like nerd out on ballistics gel and shooting. And so I usually
got
carry
a lot of ballistics gel at home.
yeah, I do actually. Hey, you could reshoot it. You could just remelt it down and shoot it. It's a fun time. But I think it's really cool just to see how companies improve on that.
Yeah.
And for bullets, especially handgun ammunition being such a small little thing, seeing how they design little things to make it expand in different ways or go deeper in ballistics gel or go better through barriers is pretty unique. And so I carry 147 grain HSTs in most of my guns usually.
Me too.
And it's probably my favorite ammo. And it's been like a decade since they've done any real improvements to that bullet or done anything. We have the G2 for the gold dot. So that was a sort of a new adaptation of that bullet.
Isn't the deep impact or whatever kind of new?
It's new. I think it's I wouldn't really call it an HST because it doesn't expand sort of like it. It looks different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got that weird little
it almost
thing in the middle.
To me, that almost is a update to the
like
Hydroshock. That they had because that sort of had that same little dimple coming up into it. So I would love to see some updated federal ammunition in the HST line in terms of maybe like an HST2 or something in that realm or just cool ammunition in different different capacities. I think a big one now is the all copper ammunition, whether it's expanding ammo or some of the tumble ammunition.
Those tumble upon impacts are nasty.
Yeah, I've seen some of those in ballistic gel and it makes some pretty crazy wound tracks.
Yeah.
But I would be just interested to see what new ammo technology kind of emerges.
Do you think any new rounds are coming out? We had 8.6 last year, right?
I would not be surprised. I think if anybody does come out with a new round, it will probably be Hornady.
Yeah.
They tend to, especially in the precision rifle category, they tend to lead the charge.
For sure.
So I'll be interested to see kind of what different handguns come out, silencers and ammunition.
Yep.
What about you though? Like, what is there anything that if you're scrolling Instagram, you see and it catches your eye? Is there anything that you're expecting or would be excited to see kind of get released or?
Yeah. Yeah, so the thing I was most excited about was the Gen 6. So that kind of already came out. I just saw something.
Christmas came early.
Yep, Christmas came early. I saw something last night where they're going to come out with an AR. Glock's going to come out with an AR. I don't know at this point if it was an AI article or whatever, but that would be really neat. I'd love for them to come out with a PCC personally.
That would actually be cool.
So maybe Glock has more up its sleeve. That would be awesome. FN has been doing some really cool marketing, kind of that redacted style.
Yep.
They're kind of teasing they're going to come back with some popular firearms that they're kind of redoing.
Okay.
So I'm really interested what that might be. It's going to be a handgun and it's going to be a rifle. So that will be really cool to see what they do there. And then I think I'm always I'm always interested in like the more budget friendly brands getting better and better and better.
Yes.
So Taurus, whatever. Everyone either loves Taurus or hates Taurus, but they just released the TX, where it's a fire control unit.
Yep.
And it's marketed as a duty ready, super reliable, but it's optics cut. It's got the fire control unit. They already have full size compact and subcompact grips, and then full size compact and subcompact slides, all from the get go.
Okay.
So it's like, man, when you start thinking about that and all the different use cases, someone who's just buying one of their first firearms or whatever. You buy that one serialized unit, and then you have your carry gun, you have your home defense gun, whatever. So I think that's really cool. Just making our sport and our sort of way of life more accessible to more people is something I always get really excited about.
That is an interesting point because I didn't really think about it, but usually for a long, long time, it was you had to almost pick. It was either you picked a less expensive firearm and you were getting what you paid for almost, but it was better than nothing, or you had to really kind of jump up a decent margin to, drop a good amount of coin on something that you knew would be good.
Yeah.
And not even $1,000. I think for us, just being around some of these guns, that doesn't always seem like a lot of money for some guns, but it is.
But that's
but it's $1,000.
Yeah. For sure.
So I feel like we're kind of sometimes in an echo chamber, and we forget that, some of the less expensive firearms are continuing to get better and better to where like they're really closing that gap quite a bit. I mean, even Canic was even in that realm where people.
The new Prime is awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of their not being super expensive is all their machines and everything are paid off for, and they're pretty much their parent company is an aerospace company,
right?
Which a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
So they actually are coming from a pretty high pedigree of just design and engineering.
Yeah, for sure.
And all of now that people have gotten them and are running them through their paces, they're a huge company now. So it's cool to see. So that's a good point. It's cool to see the gap.
And being like
getting a lot shorter.
Gun nerds or gun freaks or whatever, we'll be like, well, what's it going to be like after 2,000 rounds? And the reality is, a lot of people don't shoot that much.
Yeah.
So some of these guns are just way overkill for the regular kind of person who wants the gun to have it. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? Yeah. But it's going to be reliable for them. It's going to be accurate enough. It's going to be durable enough. So I always get excited about that and just seeing how people how some of these brands can get more creative and where they can save costs but still make a quality item and stuff.
I like that. I think that's a better answer than I had for what I was looking for.
No, yours was cool. Yours was like really bougie, but I liked it.
Is there anything else that kind of stands out to you that you're interested in? I thought of another one. I'll have to tell you after yours.
I'm excited about our coverage in SHOT Show this year. Okay. So we're sending out Mike from Fire and Order. He's quite a character. I'm a little nervous what he's going to do. I'm like, please don't embarrass us out there, Mike. But he's going to be there on the ground for the entire show, checking out all the booths, providing real-time updates. So I think we're just super excited to have that presence there. First time, we're sending a team out to SHOT Show for media. So just really excited what he's going to come back with and what he's going to find and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Every time I go to SHOT Show, it gets bigger every year somehow. Yeah, I don't know how, but because it was already big. The times I've gone, to me, it is like adult Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it feels like adult Disneyland because you could go there and I've been there for 5 days before doing nothing but walking the floor and just looking at everything, not getting content, not doing anything like that.
Yep.
And you still don't get to half of what is there. I mean, it is baffling how massive this thing is, and it's now gone to where it's in different buildings.
Yeah,
it used to all be in the Sands Expo, and the big chunk of it still is. Yeah. But it's just massive. So there's going to be, I imagine, some really cool, unique things, and there's always like a random sleeper, company comes out with something awesome. So I'll be excited to see what comes out.
Yeah. I'm wondering like if Ruger's going to come out with something cool. I feel like they haven't done anything a little bit. Smith has been doing a really steady stream of cool stuff, so I'm hoping that continues there. But yeah, Mike's going to check it all out. He's going to do all the things, check out the ammo, the guns, do all the fun activities, maybe embarrass himself in front of some celebrities. So it'll be good to watch. So make sure everyone like and subscribe Instagram and YouTube, because Mike is going to be posting all the time, and you're going to get lots of real-time awesome coverage.
Yeah, so if you're looking for all the what's new and what's been first released, the Blackstone YouTube channel is going to be where you kind of see it first, I think. So definitely be on the lookout for all that content.
Yep.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Reserve Podcast. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and come back for a new episode every Tuesday. Thanks again, and we'll see you at SHOT Show.